everyone. My name is Don, the movie reviewer, and today we're going to be talking about Sorry to Bother You.
Is intriguing.
I'm just out here surviving, and what I'm doing right now won't even matter.
Oh, baby, it will always matter.
But you said you fixed that.
Get a room! I got a room, motherfucker!
We will have a transformative experience.
I'm doing something that I'm really good at.
Cassius, the old you was way more interesting.
You are rolling with the big dogs now.
Greetings, Cassius Green. I hope you did not masturbate today. We need you sharp and ready to go.
Sorry to Bother You is written and directed by first-time writer-director Boots Riley. Boots Riley is a part of an American hip-hop group known as Street Sweeper Social Club. I never really heard of that group. I just stumbled upon it after watching this movie because after I saw the shenanigans that took place in Sorry to Bother You, I really wanted to know who this director was. And Boots Riley, for being his first movie, this is an amazing film. Like, the way it's shot, it definitely reminded me of movies like Requiem for a Dream, what's that movie with Jim Carrey? Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, movies like Be Kind, Rewind, just those kind of out there movies that exist in a different realm of reality. For Boots Riley as a director, he definitely tackles social issues going on in American culture within the black community, and I feel that the message that is being projected towards the audience in this movie is absolutely fantastic. And I will admit that there are some moments in the movie that really hit home for me, especially when, like, you know, you're trying to find a job, you're kind of trying to make a transition in your life. I understand all of that, you know, and I really felt for the character. And even if you haven't been in the position of the character in your own life, I think that an audience member will emotionally connect to his character. And knowing for a fact that his character isn't all, you know, glamorous, and he's not a really good moral person. I mean, he is and then he isn't, because there are some choices that he makes within the film that where someone could judge his character and say that's not right, but then is there a reason, is there cause for what he's doing, and is he justified in doing what he's doing? So I thought Boots Riley directed this movie fantastically. I thought that not only the direction and the story, but with the directing overall, you know, like I said, it feels like one of those weird movies like Requiem or Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, where you have a really deep story, but then at the same time you have this visual aesthetic to where it blows your freaking mind. And that definitely caters to propelling the story even more so than what it already is. Lakeith Stanfield plays Cassius Green, and he's the guy who's the main character that I was talking about in this movie. And his character, there are some things that I felt on a personal level, and there were things that I didn't understand on a personal level, but I understood him as a character and his transition in his life within the story. And he was a compelling character because he goes from point A to point B, starts off in one place, he has these aspirations and goals and visions, then he finally accomplishes some things that he wanted to, and when he finally gets there, he's forced with a choice to either, you know, go against people that he loves, or, you know, just be in it for his own self-benefit. And I thought the movie perfectly showcased this character's transition within the story in this movie. And so I understood him. And then we have Tessa Thompson, who plays Detroit, which is Cassius's girlfriend, and she's fantastic in this movie. When I saw her, I immediately thought of like Chirac by Spike Lee. Just the way her character is kind of just out there, and she is not afraid to be herself, and she has these earrings which showcase how she's feeling or what mood she's in, and just her character overall is just a positive person, and I enjoyed her in this movie. And watching her progression in the story at the beginning it was charming. I thought her relationship with the main character was great. And then as the movie progressed, there's something else going on, like a little side plot that really showcases by the end who her character is as a person. And so I loved the Detroit character. She was absolutely phenomenal, and the actor did a fantastic job. Jermaine Fowler plays Salvador, and he is one of the funniest characters in this movie. I thought his relationship with the main character in this movie was great. We see the transition in their relationship with the decisions that Cassius Green has to make within the movie. And there's just lots of funny moments. And I also noticed that with Boots Riley, the director, directing this thing in the way he did, there were certain scenes where you may think that, oh, something is going on here, but then there's something else going on in the background that if you pay attention to like the side of the screen, you'll understand where Salvador's mind state is at. And I'm not going to spoil it. It's just a scene where it's like you can tell that the movie kind of, for me, it made me question, like, okay, is Salvador jealous of Cassius, or is he really a genuine friend? And by the end of the movie, you know, you learn who he is, and I liked who he is. And there was one fantastic scene between Jermaine Fowler and Lakeith Stanfield where they were complimenting each other while they were arguing. I thought that scene was fantastic. He's like, no, you smell good, bro. No, I hope you have a wonderful day. That was really funny. This movie made me laugh, man. I love all of them, these two actors' scenes in this movie. Armie Hammer plays Steve Lift, and Steve Lift is a character who is portrayed as the White Devil, as the man, as some people like to say, who is a person that controls everything. And that's the way this movie paints him as a character. Now, at the beginning, you may feel that he's one way, but then by the end, you learn what his true colors are. And Armie Hammer did a fantastic job. Like, yeah, I didn't like the character, but then you're thinking, oh man, this guy's kind of cool, you know? It's the way he portrays this character, Armie Hammer, and the way the character's kind of suave, but then at the same time, you know, underneath all of that skin and underneath the surface, he's just kind of a devious, disgusting person. And Armie Hammer played it up in this movie. He was fun, he was fantastic. I loved the energy that he gave to the character, even though we don't learn much about the character. Within the scenes, with the scenes that are within the movie, we learn just enough about his character to build an overall picture of him. Armie Hammer was great, and the character didn't have many layers to him, but hey, I would say was a good character. I thought that Danny Glover, Steven Yeun, and Omar Hardwick contributed to this movie perfectly. I thought Steven Yeun's character, I was like, hey, it's that guy from The Walking Dead. He was great in this movie. He gave a really good performance, and he has a funny scene in this movie where he's at a rally and he's hyping everybody up, but then he makes these side comments, which I thought was hilarious. Danny Glover in this movie has a fantastic scene. I haven't seen him in a while. It's great to see him here. Danny Glover has one funny scene in this movie, which I would say is one of the funniest scenes in the movie. It's really funny, what he does with his voice and how they do this dub thing. It's fantastic.
Hey, Mr. Kramer, this is Langston from Regal View.
Then we have Omar Hardwick in here, and he's a good character. He has his own sense of style, kind of looks like Slick Rick. There's kind of a mystery to him at the beginning, but as the movie progresses, we learn who he is and what he's all about, and how the movie structures his character in a way to where it's like, you know, someone thinks they're in a position of power, and really there's someone who's higher than that person, and it's like, you know, you can't really compete. And it showcases how, you know, someone wants to be so accepted in a world that is far beyond their grasp. And I thought that his character was good in kind of doing that transition. His character wasn't on screen very long, but what I got from the character, I kind of understood what world he was mentally in. I will give Sorry to Bother You an A+. This movie's great. It has social commentary. It has fantastic directing. The style choices within this movie during the execution of scenes are absolutely great. I would say that just the actors in here portraying these characters give powerful performances which are believable. So all across the board, the acting is great. The directing is all across the board great. The music is all across the board great. That definitely puts you in a vibe during the scenes that our viewer is watching in the movie. Everything is great about this. I can't believe this is Boots Riley's first movie. This is an absolutely fantastic movie. If you want to watch something that is heavily funny, a deep social commentary, interesting story, great characters, and a something that happens towards the end that you will not expect, where it just blows your mind, with movies like Eternal Sunshine, Requiem for a Dream, Be Kind, Rewind, which I don't think that movie's that good, but just weird movies like that where it's like, yeah, this movie takes place in reality, but then you can see that there's something weird going on here that you can't quite put your finger on. That's all I'm gonna say. Well, as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Good shit. I just want to tell a quick story. There was this one time I was dating this white girl, and I met her mom. And as I was talking to her mom looked at me and said, "You talk white." And that really made me mad. I don't know why, but it made me mad. Now when I think about it, the reason why I was mad, because what is white talk? What is white English, or whatever you want to call it? Why is grammar such an important thing? I guess the only reason she said I sounded white was because I talked proper. Now, people on YouTube ridicule me and criticize me all the time for mispronouncing people's names, little shit like that. And I admit, sometimes, my speech is slurred, all this kind of stuff. And the only reason that is when I'm tired. But when I get enough rest, my mind is pretty much working in tip-top shape. But when she said, "Yeah, you talk white," I was just speaking normally. I didn't have a conscious thought in my mind of thinking of how I was going to talk to her. I just spoke. I just said what came to my head, and I said it out of my mouth, and I wasn't thinking, oh, I should talk like this. So it really bothered me. So what is this whole thing of like talking white and trying to be something you're not? I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me. Anyway, that's just my small story with an experience I had, a black man with a white person.